Hello, Gordon here. Just want to quickly show you the fundamentals of how to catch a fish at Redbridge Lakes. If you come over here and hire one of our poles, one of these things here, we'll give you a few maggots and we'll spend a few minutes with you and show you exactly what to do. So if you're just coming over here for an hour's fishing with the kids, or you're coming to one of our fishing parties, or you're someone a little bit older just wants to learn the fundamentals of fishing, we can do that for you. So we're going to take a pole and we're going to take a landing net and a few maggots, and I'm going to walk over here and show you what to do. Right, here we go. So here we have a little 3-metre pole, what's traditionally called a whip, and on it we've got a rig, and the rig consists of a hook. There you go, a little tiny barbless hook so it doesn't hurt the fish too badly. We've got a couple of shots on the line. This is what they call a bolt lead, and this is what they call a telltale shot, but that's really complicated. But there you go, there's a float and a bit of line. That's what we call a rig. So we take the rig. First thing we want to do is find out how deep the water is. So I've got this thing here, it's called a plummet, and we put it on the hook, and this finds the depth of the water. So let's drop it in the water here, and immediately I can see the water's deeper than the way the float's set. So I've got to bring that float a long way up so I can know that the hook's going to be sitting on the bottom. There we go. Right, I reckon it's about there. Let's have another go. Still deeper than that. We'll have another go. And this is quite important because we want to try and catch the fish off the bottom. That's where they like to be most of the time. Nearly, you see the float's just sticking out of the water there, so I think if we have it about another inch up, that will be perfect. I'll just check that to show you what I mean. There's the plummet, it's going into the water. It's going to sit on the bottom. See, it's hit the bottom there, and there's the float just sticking out the water. So now I know that when I'm fishing, the hook is going to be sitting on the bottom of the lake like that. It's just right for the fish to be able to pick it up and then take the float under. So, very important thing when you're fishing. Lots of people make this mistake. They'll have a little bit of fishing over there, they'll do a little bit of fishing over there, do a little bit of fishing over there, and they're chasing around all day, not catching any fish. If you bait one spot, preferably the spot where you've plumbed up, and you bring the fish to where you've been baiting, you can run around the lake all day missing the fish. But if you're clever enough, you can sit there, get yourself nice and comfortable, keep baiting the same spot, get the fish to come to you. That's the lazy one's way of doing it. So we take a maggot, wriggly little thing, it's got pointed ends and a fat end. They don't bite you. On the fat end is a little tiny bit of skin, and if you just nick the little bit of skin with a hook like that, it will sit on the hook and it will wriggle. The fish love a wriggly maggot. So there you go, keep sticking it in. Now, I told you about the weights earlier. That weight there will shot the float, so the float will sit up to about there, and then the other little weight will take the float down to there, and that's for your telltale shot. Sometimes you can see a little tiny difference with the bite, but generally what will happen with the bite, the float will pull under the water as the fish pulls the line, and then you have to lift the rod up to hook the fish. So let's see how clever we can be. See if I can hook a fish first time. A few more maggots, and you cast in Really all you got to do is lay the line into the water. No thrashing around. So all you do is when you thrash around, all you do is scare the fish, get your line into a tangle and all sorts of things. So there you go, the float's sitting nice and level with the water. Could actually do with another weight on it. It's just sticking out the water a little bit more than I'd like to normally, but that will do, that will do. And here's the important bit, just feed a couple of maggots at a time. If you keep feeding a couple of maggots at a time, you're guaranteed the fish will come in and give you a bite. You can try just lifting the bait up off the bottom like that. You can imagine what's happening now, the bait is sitting 6 inches off the bottom and dropping it down slowly. So it will mimic the loose feed that you've got going into the water. Another little bob then. There's a little bite then, nearly ready, so just having a little nibble at it. Oh, nearly. There it goes. Yes, and we got him. Right, there's a little fish. We pull him up to the surface. There's a little perch. And we get the landing net, we put the landing net underneath him. Now it's only a tiny fish, but it's a good example, this one, because this is a fish that quite often takes the hook right down his throat. Most fish they just catch it just in the lip, but perch being greedy, they take it right down. So we've got this gadget here called a disgorger. The idea is you just keep the line tight and open the fish's mouth and push the hook down and take it out like that. Simple as that. Another little perch, we'll put him back as soon as we can, and that's done. Now let's see if we can catch a bigger fish. I've got a feeling that what's happening, because it's a nice sunny day and we've been throwing bait in quite regularly, that some of the other fish have come up off the bottom to try and intercept the bait up off the bottom. So what I'm going to do now is to bring the float down shallower. So now the bait will be sitting in the water about half depth. If my intuition is right, then we'll catch another fish up in the water. There you go, a few more maggots, cast out, no effort involved, just flick it out gently, and let's see if there's any fish high in the water. If not, we'll go back on the bottom again. Got a few more maggots. There's a bite. When you get bites high in the water, it means the fish are flashing around. Sometimes the bites are very, very, very fast. It's difficult to hit. Whereas the bites on the bottom, the fish, because they're grazing, they'll be taking the bait down and taking it into their mouth, not feeling the resistance quite the same, so you get a better bite from the bottom. Here we're getting bites here now. There's little tiny bites. I'm trying to be as quick as I can to see if I can catch one of these. They're teasing me a bit. At least we know we're getting some bites now though. Incidentally, this is real-time video, so we're not cutting and putting the good bits in, you're getting the bad bits as well. And that's when you're not getting bites, but that's where the patience comes in. Few more maggots. Keep baiting the same spots as I said before. By now, most people are getting really fed up with it and they've walked halfway around the lake trying to catch a fish somewhere else. That's not the point. Just keep baiting that same spot and the fish are going to come to you. If they're hungry, if they're not hungry, you're not going to catch them anyhow. So if fish are eating, they're going to come to the bait. You just keep putting that bait in and eventually they will turn up. There's a lot of water out there and it will take a lot of fish. Although there's millions and millions of fish in this water, they don't take a huge amount of space when you think there's something like 300 million gallons of water here. So fish had a gallon of water each, there'd be 300 million fish here. But they're turning up, they're getting bites. Here we go. Hey, hey. Ah, and it's come off. Well, there's the one that got away.
What do you think that was?
That's what you call real-time video.
Yeah.
Well, that was a nice fish, that was. It was a nice fish. Well, where we go? We'll keep going. We'll keep going. We won't give up.
Well, we know they're there now.
We know they're there. They might have spooked off a little bit. They don't like it when one of their mates gets hooked and runs away. So sometimes the fish shy off a little while. But there you go. They might be there. But we keep baiting. We keep baiting just a couple of maggots at a time. Let's see if we can get something happening here now. Oh, well, they're still there. That was a bite. Missed that one. This is part of the fun of it. It's not easy. It's fun. And that's what fishing's supposed to be about. Not how many fish you catch, it's how much fun you have. Oh, I missed that one. You notice the bite, we don't strike up like that when you do a bite. You just strike gently. You don't need to try and take the fish into orbit when you hook it. Just enough to hook the fish. So it's only a gentle strike. There's another one's come off. Oh dear. Tube and maggot up, so I'm going to have to put a new maggot on.
Would you recommend that, Gordon, every time?
Yeah, every time you've had a couple of bites, just check the bait. If the maggot's not wriggling, then it's not as good. So we'll get one in a minute. We've got a few out there now, that's for sure. We've got a few fish interested, so just a couple of maggots around the throat all the time. Still fishing the same spot, and you can see we're getting more bites now. We're getting a bit more interest. There we go. Aha, that's better. That's better. Ah, we've got a little bream. It's what we call a little skimmer bream. Here it comes. Little skimmer bream. Whoop. This one we hooks him just outside the mouth. Yep. Come on. That's it. There he is, a little skimmer bream. Put him back in the water. Actually, I think that might be a hybrid. Might have a little bit of roach in him. Roach bream hybrid. Right, we'll keep going, see if we can catch an eye, because I've got a feeling those other fish I had before were eyed.
And they're a bigger fish, Gordon.
Yeah, well, yeah, I do grow up to about 4 or 5 pounds. In this lake, they're only up to, probably the biggest one could possibly be £2 now, but £1.50 quite regular now. Well, we've had a couple of fish and a couple of ones that got away we can talk about and brag about. They're that big.
Would you recommend using maggots?
Maggots are great bait. They catch everything that swims. You can use worms, you can use corn, you can put bits of meat, you can use pellets, which are like little bits of rolled up brown bait. Pretty much anything that you eat you could put on a hook and you could catch a fish with. But maggots, yeah, fish love a maggot. So you can use little bits of bread if you're a little bit worried about picking maggots up. Little bits of bread will work quite well. That's good, I've caught a maggot. It doesn't often happen, but there you go.
I got one. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is that a joke? You knew that? Oh, I told you. It's not your fault. It's my fault. She gives me the food. And then...
There we go. Oh, now there's a better fish. There's a nice fish. Let's see if we can not lose this one. I think this is one of our eyes. You don't have to pull it, just hold it in the water. If you pull too hard, you pull the hook out. You just let the rod do its work. Let the fish slowly come to the surface. He'll give up in a minute. And this one, it's a particularly lively one, this one. He's going to come to the surface in a minute. Come on, baby. Come to daddy. Whee. Just follow him round with the rod. Hit the line nice and tight so the hook don't come out. Because we use barbless hooks, so if you leave a little bit of loose line, the hook can come out. But here he comes, he's coming to the surface now, he's tiring a little bit. Right, and then when you think you're ready, and only when you think you're ready, bring him to the surface. Bring it to the surface, get your landing net underneath him, and lift it up. Simple as that. And that's one of our lovely eyes. It's very important when you pick your fish up, try and keep the landing net underneath the fish, especially when you're new to it, because you're very likely to drop the fish. So if you drop him into the landing net, that's not going to do him any damage, whereas if you drop him on the floor, it will. Just using that disgorger again, just take the hook out. There you go. A nice big hide, about 3/4 pound, something like that. Give him a kiss and put him back. I think that'll do, won't it? Cheers.